Oh, hello boys. It's time for an update video on how my latter season Druid has been coming along. It's doing pretty well. A lot of upgrades recently. We're still ticking along. There's a lot to do. And yeah, we've made some pretty big milestones. So I'm going to go through and show where I'm at with some of that. So this is our big boy. We've changed a little bit. If you guys have caught the stream, we have managed to get this absolute phenom. So we did find I think it's a bone break. Yeah, we found a bone break, 11%, so that's 1% off perfect. Traded that for an ist rune, and then traded my ist for a 1 ED off perfect ethereal windhammer, which is kind of crazy. So yeah, we got that. One of the boys donated a Zod rune so we can use it, and now this is our main slapper. So we have some decent damage with this now, very strong. It's kind of funny, it's exactly the same ED as our non-ethereal, which I think I might have thrown out. I did also trade a pole rune for a lower ED at 202, so I've got a spare, but I had to jump on this trade for the ist rune boys, because it's just so amazing for where we're at. Now, the other big upgrades we have is the following. We changed our Archon Plate Hustle Armor to a Sacred. We have the strength to fit it, so we might as well. I'm not too worried about the deficit for run speed, it's not too bad, and I want my dude to look jacked, right? And this looks so sick. The only thing I'm not really a fan of is my helm, so I'm trying to look for an elite druid helm that has hurricane, or maybe some other mods, I'm not too sure. But let's kind of zip through what I have. So everything else is the same as you've kind of seen. My strength is obviously way too high, I know, but I'm waiting to respec until I get some more upgrades. Dexterity is kind of meh. Vitality is everything extra from now on. My resistances are kind of fine. My cold res is a bit lower because we ended up finding a cold rupture. I use this occasionally when we're farming different TZs, so I can show you that in a second. It's quite helpful because our hurricane now, we've maxed the synergies, so we're at 35 for 2000. So that's quite helpful on switch when we cast it with +7 from Earthshifter. But aside from that, we have decent items to cover our resistances where we need. So we've got Tri-Res here, we've got IK Belt with the boots for extra attack rating and magic find. We've got this nice leftover caster amulet from one of the guys we were feeding resources to, so we've got 20 all res on that. It's kind of whatever, right? +1 is nice. But yeah, we're ticking away. A little bit of resistances there, and we also have 15 resistances on a Grand Charm. So slightly moving up, right? The rest of the gear though, we've got a Bulwark and a +3, which is going quite nicely for us. I'm tempted to roll this into a Metamorph. That would be a massive upgrade for us now. So the next kind of shift I'm looking to do is to get a Cham room and a decent base so we can make a Metamorph. So then, boys, I can put 1 point into Werewolf and Werebear, transform, get all the buffs of bonus to maximum life by 2025. I've got damage reduction, attack speed buff, and attack rating buff. So it is absolutely incredible upgrade to get a Metamorph right now, and that's what I'm kind of hunting. Now, I'm saving 1 point depending on my whatever base helm that I get. If it has Werebear or Werewolf, then I can use that, but I digress. I'll move on. So Metamorph is on the menu. Decent amulet. I've got my rings are pretty much the same with my Raven Frost. My res gloves I do switch out on occasion. I do have my IK ones as well, but it's not too much of a big increase to use them, and I don't necessarily need that much attack speed now that I have Hustle with my Windhammer, right? It's mainly for the run speed, I'll be honest. We have had some decent upgrades in the charm section. So attack rating and life, we've got a couple of run walk charms in there. We've got lifers, little bit of upgrades, some life and res, slowly getting there. Druid Torch, we do have an Annihilus at 1911.7, so we're looking quite nicely across the board. Now the Earthshifter is kind of staying for the time being. I can't really pass up the +7 buff to Hurricane. When I cast on switch here and my Cyclone Arm, I got 1580 and then 2k damage, but if I take that off, it's 1100 and only 1500, so it's quite noticeable and it's been quite helpful. The Mercenary has a few different upgrades as well. So we've got our extra Hustle Archon Plate, which I changed. I chucked that on him, so he has attack speed. I am trying to get a Treachery for a Lem, so that's on the list to do. But we did end up rolling this, which is kind of incredible. We found a superior Corona with like 5 or 7 ED, I think. and we managed to roll a near perfect bulwark roll. So 6% life stolen per hit. ED is at 98. And we've got the other stats are amazing. It damage reduction at 15. So this is beautiful. That's going to sit in there for a while. And we've also got our Reaper's Toll. So I'm not sure if I want to socket this or not. I might end up doing it because it'll be a while until we get the ethereal and things like that. But it's pretty steady, boys. Pretty steady. We do have a couple of other fun things, such as our Passion and our Scourge now, which I have been messing around with. But we're not in a place where we can use Zeal efficiently. Sure, we can play around with it, but we only have one ring of Carrion Wind to really play with when we are doing that, and it's not really it's not really a big deal right now, you know? But yeah, I want to show a little bit of gameplay on where I'm at for this. My dude looks pretty sick with my Sacred Armor plate. I'm pretty stoked with that. So when I switch buff here, Cyclone Armor, Hurricane is at 2k, and I have been summoning some of these boys now with my Annihilus and Torch. It's somewhat worthwhile to get some of these bodies out. Just with my +1 skills, I'm getting up just enough where I can get a few of these boys out there. This and my Wolverine, and then we're good to go. So before I run in, I am casting some Twisters and then, you know, driving in. These fellas are cold immune, but we do enough physical damage to cover that anyway. But yeah, boys. How's your letter season been going so far? Mine's going alright. We can farm hell, we're kind of getting through reasonably swiftly. Another thing we have in the pipeline is on day 2, boys. If you boys were checking the VODs, I actually found a Talrash's armor, the Guardianship, on day 2. So we have that listed, and we're looking to try and get some runes traded for things now, because that's worth quite a lot on day 2, so we're quite lucky. So yeah, in the pipeline, we're trying to get some high runes for Enigma. That's the next shake-up. Metamorph is going to be a big upgrade, and once we get those two, then we can change up quite a lot on how we're looking. But for now, this is kind of the gist of the build, right? It is similar, but we can finally function a lot more cleaner and farm different TZ areas. Hurricane has been a lot more reliable than I think, than I think it would have been, and it makes me also curious about maybe later on switching into more of an Earth Shifter and Fire variant. But obviously, you guys know there's a lot more fire-resistant mobs out there when we're going through, right? And more physical is it through here. See if I can clear another area here. There we go. I'm starting to like Twister even more as a skill. I mentioned a little bit last time. When I'm running into mobs, I shoot Twister first, put them into stun, and then let Hurricane do some work while I pick off the rest, you know? It's quite helpful. The amp is not very nice in this case. But Decryptify has been helping a lot clear different areas, and also farming health countess and doing things like that, you know? Even without Hurricane, we do get some decent single targeting, just like this. That granny, 77, knock him out. I'm impressed, boys. I'm liking it. Very keen for my Enigma so I can tele-stomp a bit better and really stomp them and slap them with my big brick. That really is the plan. I'm going to find another area we can go to clear this up here. I just really wanted to show a little bit of gameplay as well, because last time I was really struggling trying to clear, you know, some areas of hell, but it is kind of going kind of nice. For the sake of it, I'm going to chuck here and put on the Passion, and I have an Aegis Spirit with my, where is it? Carrion Wind. I'm going to put that on so I can show you boys what it looks like. So with this, 8% chance to cast Twister on striking. Kind of fun. Kind of fun. So ideally the end game is going to be we make a Phoenix Shield, we have maybe 1 or 2 Carrion Winds, and then probably 2 Carrion Winds actually. Assuming I have enough attack rating at the time. But yeah, we cast Twister from Zeal. So I can show you a little bit of that now. It can function a bit because we have a lot of damage from Hurricane, but yeah, this is closer to where we want to be with our in-game variant. A bit more fire damage. Potentially I might try and make 2 Phoenixes so we get rid of Zeal and we have just dual Phoenix. And then we can tele-stomp enemies with that and slap with Firestorm. That could be what we try and do next. Sacretash, we'll try that. Yeah, boys. This is the melee druid. The hybrid elemental melee druid. Hopefully we'll have the stream up later today. Hopefully we'll get some builds out for you boys soon. But yeah, progress is going well. We'll keep this kind of short. Yeah. There we go. Slowly but surely, the Zeal Druid is coming along. Coming along, boys. See ya.